Anyway, well, something else happened 16 years ago. PELA was born.
Wait, that does not make any sense. That means that PELA joined Serval's band, graduated at the top of her class, and she holds at least 15 years of education, as well as being an intelligence officer for Silvermane Guards, which is a major career. And she also has at least 5 years of work experience, which means that she did all of this before the age of 10. Which doesn't make any logical sense. It breaks all the laws of physics, quantum dynamics. It breaks the Bible, it breaks the Quran. It breaks every single law and every single rule that ever existed and that will ever exist. It does not make any sense. But what if it does? What if all of this can be explained logically? So allow me to blow your fucking mind. PELA is a descendant of Chuck Norris. Now everything makes sense! Because think about it, when PELA was a little girl and she joined the Serval's band, she didn't even know how to play the drums. She just stared at the drums and the drums started playing themselves out of fear. Do you know when PELA was the happiest? It is when her mother was born. She carried her own grandmother through the scorching desert heat in 3 meters deep snow, 100 kilometers in both ways, while carrying her grandmother in her arms. And do you know what is the craziest part? She started walking at June 15th. And she arrived at the hospital at June 14th. Nobody knows how she did it. And nobody even dares to question her. And the operation was 100% successful. Do you know why? Because PELA was the doctor. Yes, she did the operation. And let me tell you, my friends, there is so much more that you don't know about PELA. Do you know why PELA wears her glasses? Is it because she has a bad vision? Fuck no. Her vision is so good that she can see aliens fucking on Mars. The true reason why she wears these glasses is to protect us. If PELA took her glasses off, every single person in this entire planet would be so charmed by her beauty that they would start murdering their own family as sacrifices so they can get PELA to notice them. Do you know what Christopher Columbus actually saw when he arrived at America? He saw PELA teaching the ancient tribes how to light a fire with their mind. Do you know what happens when PELA gets upset? No, she doesn't have a rage fit. She goes outside and stares at the sky. And the clouds start sweating out of fear. This is commonly known as rain in some countries. And let me tell you the story of how Jesus was born. On the silent night when Virgin Mary was giving birth to the savior of humanity, PELA arrived with her GT Mustang and gave him a bag full of gifts which contains Smoky, Plasma, Grisini and unreleased episode of Selo Gori a Baba Se Češlja, which she directed herself, and that CD has an estimated value of 150 gazillion euros. So you can see how generous PELA actually is. Do you know how PELA eats honey? Well, she doesn't. She chews bees, wasps, and she loves drinking poisons from the most venomous snakes that ever existed because she likes the taste. Do you know what is the scariest thing on this world? Who the fuck cares? Do you know what PELA does when she gets angry? Once she beat up the owner of the shoe store because he didn't finish her shoes in time, and she beat him up through the phone. And that man died before he even reached the hospital. Doctors gave up on him. The priest didn't even want to attend his funeral. He said, "Nah, I'm not touching that shit." Before downing a liter of rakia and disappearing into the night. Another fun fact, do you know that PELA actually has 100 years of work experience, and she managed to do it in a year. And she did it at the last day of the year, because the other 364 days she spent at the hot springs, at the Earth's core. PELA does not know where you live. but she knows where you will die. Once PELA went to McDonald's and asked for sarma, and she got it. Then she went outside to enjoy her meal, but not before slamming the revolving door. When PELA attacks her enemies, she doesn't break their armor. They simply take their clothes off and submit to her. I also heard from a friend who heard from the other friend who heard from the friend that PELA was able to ace her eye exam while being blindfolded. When monsters go to sleep, they look under their bed to see if PELA was there. Do you know why PELA sleeps with her lights on? No, it's not because PELA is afraid of the dark, it's because the dark is afraid of PELA. When PELA was late for class, the teacher would stand up and apologize to her for coming earlier. She is the Timmy that your Asian parents keep comparing you to. This woman is a goddamn abomination, and you should know not to cross her. Because do you know what happened to the last person who made her mad? She basically took him and his entire family, put them in the meat grinder, grinding them into paste while they were still alive, I do not know how. Then she joined their bodies into unholy meat obelisk. The God had no creation in that abomination, which shows that God is powerless against PELA. So there is no point in running, she is on the way and you are next.